The African Development Bank says accusations that it's worsening Africa's debt problems are inaccurate and not fact-based. That's a response to the head of the World Bank, who accused the African Development Bank of a tendency to lend too quickly and in unsustainable ways. But debts on the continent are rising fast, and the World Bank is not alone in expressing their concern. The IMF has too. Nigeria's total external debt has doubled in the past 2 years as the country climbed out of recession. We're asking you, who has the healthiest economy in Africa? Who has the healthiest economy in Africa? As Richard mentioned, it is a subjective question, so only your opinion counts. Is it Nigeria? Is it South Africa? Is it Kenya? Or is it Ethiopia? Who has the healthiest economy in Africa? There's still time to cast your vote. Go to cnn.com/join on your phone or on your computer. Let's go now to Richard Quest, who's joining us live now from Lagos. So, Richard, I understand you're speaking to the CEO of Zenith Bank, Jim Ovia. What did he have to say about the health of the Nigerian economy, and also how new innovative subsectors like fintech are disrupting the banking sector?
Good evening, Zain, from Lagos. Taking the opportunity of being here and catching the temperature on an economy, of course, that was in recession just 3 years ago on the back of low oil prices, that has since made quite considerable improvements in recovery. But as always with the Nigerian economy, what you see is not always the whole story. And that's why I was grateful to sit down with Jim Ovia, the chairman of Zenith Bank, to get a deep underlying view of what's actually happening in Nigeria today.
In a big economic situation, you can't diversify too fast. It has to, elephant doesn't really move too fast. Nigeria is like a big elephant in the context of the African economy. It's the largest economy in Africa, there's no doubt about that. If you fall, trying to get up in some cases is difficult. But we did get up. We got up and we're moving steadily up, and we're heading up. So that diversification in the area of agriculture, in the area of manufacturing, in the area of tourism, it has to be a gradual process, but it's being done.
What worries you most about the Nigerian economy at the moment?
Well, the worry will come in the area of infrastructure. Can we really do enough? And as you rightly say, how fast can we do that? We can't be too fast, but at the same time, we shouldn't be too slow.
But I look at this economy, and you have a very traditional emerging markets economy that's oil-based. But on top of that, you do have the digitization. You do have enormous amounts of work being done in this country. Do you think, whether it's fintech, digitization, do you think enough resources are being put into these new economies? Is the government recognizing these new economies?
Oh, definitely. We have so many brilliant people in the government. The president had appointed very renowned Nigerian individuals that are brilliant. Take, for example, the central bank governor is one of the most brilliant individuals that we could have given that job. He's arguably doing a fantastic job in the economy, in the area of supporting and giving some intervention in the area of agriculture. There are many people who never wanted to do farming or support agriculture, but he has encouraged them by disbursing the required resources required in the area of agriculture. In manufacturing, there's a lot of incentive if you're doing manufacturing, and a lot of central bank support in that regard, and so on and so forth. And of course, fintech. The fintech companies are eating the lunch of the banks. In fact, that wasn't me saying that. It was Jamie Dimon, and he is right, but we won't let them eat our breakfast. But they can eat the lunch. They can skip breakfast, eat the lunch. That is why we have to partner with fintech companies, because the various products, various apps they are developing is ensuring financial inclusion, because it allows us to be able to embrace the unbanked.
Joining me now here is Stephanie Busari. Good to see you, our correspondent here in Lagos. Thank you for staying up late and for allowing us in and to join you. The nuanced change in Nigeria since I was last here in, 2017. What is that?
Okay. First of all, welcome back to Lagos. Richard, it's great to have you here. Of course, there's been a few interesting developments. We've had an election. President Buhari was re-elected, but he said earlier this month that he's not standing for re-election. So there's already jockeying for who will replace him in 2023, and it raises the question, will he be a lame duck president, or will the key things that need to be done get done?
But surely immediately he says that he's got 2 or 3 years left, he's out, he's gone.
Yes.
What can he get done? He's got no political power.
Well, I mean, he's still got considerable power. He's still the president, he's still the sitting president, and he's still, you know, doing the things that he's promised Nigerians that he will do. Key amongst those things is infrastructure. There have been some investments, but for some people, it's just not going fast enough.
And what about the security question here? Because no matter how good the economic benefits, the security issue in the north of the country is always a problem. Is it getting better?
Sadly, it is not, Richard. No matter how many times the government has said Boko Haram has been technically defeated, they stage audacious attacks. Just recently, 30 people were killed sleeping in their cars. So Boko Haram issue is still very much there. And parts of the country are also suffering from violent outbreaks.
I want to read you the results of our totally unscientific question. Nigeria, 50% of our viewers, good evening to you, say 50% say Lagos or Nigeria is the healthiest economy. You cover the region. South Africa 16%, Kenya 13%, Ethiopia 20%.
Yeah.
Is that your understanding?
Well, this is Africa's largest economy, so that's not a surprising result. But everyone refers to Nigeria as the sleeping giant, and they really hope that Nigeria will wake up and fulfill the potential that it really has. But at the same time, it's never been cooler to be Nigerian. Everywhere you go, as a Nigerian, I'm very proud to go to clubs around the world and hear our music being played in clubs, bars, and restaurants. And one of Nigeria's artists was recently nominated for a Grammy Award. So it's very cool to be Nigerian right now, but we just hope, people here hope that the potential will be realized.
Good to see you. Thank you for letting me come and arrive, take over.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. All right.